I think you are all aware of the situation now in Zimbabwe. We are all going towards elections. There is a serious challenge around the MDC portfolio, and this is what we just want to share with you and also all those who are members of the MDC, which was formed by our esteemed President, Morgan Richard Tsvangirai. I'll read the statement, then we can chat around it. We are here on behalf of the bona fide members of the MDCT who are determined to see the restoration of the movement for democratic change to its days of glory when it was under the able leadership of our late icon, Morgan Richard Tsvangirai. May his soul rest in peace. The MDC was founded on the principles of democracy, governance, transparency, accountability, and constitutionalism. We are still committed to those principles that represent the aspirations of the Zimbabwean people. Today, the MDC is a pale shadow of its former self after successive leaders made errors either through commission or omission that led to the total collapse of the movement. The latest and most fatal battering of the movement has been under the current illegitimate leader, Mr. Douglas Monzora. Mr. Monzora has willfully and repeatedly violated the MDC constitution. He has disenfranchised the members of the party by taking away their right to decide who should lead them. According to the MDC constitution and tradition, the branch congress leads to the what? District and provincial congresses. The provincial assemblies then nominate candidates for national positions who are then subjected to an election of a national congress attended by official delegates, seconded to an elective congress from the lower structures in terms of the party constitution. The outcome of such a process gives legitimacy to those appointed to positions after such a congress. Mr. Monzora and his illegitimate team have attempted to expel many of the founding members of the party for the sole crime that we disagreed in the undemocratic manner in which leadership of the party was to be chosen. We got protection of the law, and to this day, we are still proud members of the movement for democratic change, Tsvangirai, although disagreeing and not taking the leadership of Douglas Monzora. This realization and commitment to the people's movement that the bona fide members of the MDCT have decided to rise to defend the party and its founding principles and values. In that regard, we democratically constituted a team that has been consulting structures throughout the country. The current structures have been very clear on the following areas. That the purported Congress held on the 18th of December 2022 was fatally flawed to the extent that structures considered it a nullity and demanded that Douglas Monzora must step down to allow structure formation from branch, ward, district, and province in preparation for a legitimate Congress. It is these structures that will elect their councillors and parliamentary candidates, as has been our culture in the MDC. I can confidently announce to the members and the public that this process is already at an advanced stage. They agreed to launch a community-driven initiative, Buruka movement, electing people to abandon the Monzora directionless leadership and join the movement for restoration of the democratic change. They affirmed the position that the leadership in MDC is chosen by the grassroots through the lower level structures and not by one individual and his elite friends. The structures and full support of the court application were filed challenging the presidency of Mr. Douglas Mudzuri as president of the MDCT. As mentioned earlier, the party will soon finish the mobilization, structure and restructuring process, and an authentic Congress will be held early enough to allow us to fully prepare for the harmonized elections. We therefore appeal to all party members out there in Zimbabwe and in the diaspora to remain calm, united and actively participate in the restructuring process, taking cognizance of the fact that the 2023 harmonized elections are only a few months away. The reinvigorated MDC will win these elections and form the next government and deliver the change in Zimbabwe. Without that, the opposition remains organized and might not make it in this election. Chinja maitiro chinja, chikula izenzo. I thank you.
Thank you for Engineer Mudzuri, if I got you right, you say that the reinvigorated MDC will participate in this year's elections. Given the time that you have towards convening a Congress, do you think you'll be ready for that election?
Thank you. One more question before he answers. Okay, whilst you think about them, please go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you for your question. I'm not confirming the dispute. I'm only confirming that the MDC has to go back to its original thinking, and all the cadres who have been in MDC must regroup and consider their structures and ensure that they go back to what Zimbabweans expected out of MDC. Once they do that, they become the MDC that can win an election. The rest is not MDC if it's not coming together. Mudzuri has done a coup by doing a Congress which is not according to the Constitution. So he's not the leader. I'm neither the leader as well. I'm saying we must come together. We are reconstructing MDC to make sure that they choose a leader. So I'm not confirming any speech. I'm confirming my thinking and the team of MDC and the recommendations that came from the people who have been consulting to see what they are expecting MDC to do. And that's what we are doing. That goes to answer his question. We must be ready for elections. Our purpose is to go for elections. And we want to do those elections. Unless and until we are organized, we might fail to meet the target, but we want to meet the target. We might lack a number of things, resources and other things, to meet the target. But once we meet the target, then we participate in the election. You can't go to an exam when you're not prepared for it. So if we discover that we've not done enough, it is the members themselves who determine that they're going for elections. And we are saying, let them prepare and even have candidates ready whom they are choosing per ward, per parliament, per district. Our constitution defines a ward as those boundaries that are determined by the national elections. That's a ward. And then a district is constituted by those boundaries that are elective for parliamentarians. So those are the boundaries we use, and they've not changed. They remain just around 210. We have 210 districts. Those who will be ready, who have done their structures, cannot fail to go for elections just because Douglas Mudzuri has run away. They can continue to go for elections.
Yes. Right. You're welcome.
My name is Jengeta Shidi from MDCT TV in Jersey.
From?
So,
I think so.
how are these candidates being selected?
Our tradition is that when we are ready for elections, people in the ward leadership, that is our structure leadership, will sit down and nominate or elect a candidate. That means those who their names will present their candidates to their ward chairman, who in turn will call for a leadership meeting that will elect a leader. That is structure members. The same happens to a district. That means all wards within a district, which is a constituency, will come together and nominate or elect their candidates. So if there are more than 2 or 3 candidates, then they sit and elect a proper election. That determines a member of parliament or a council.
Take 2 more questions. Please.
My name is Tafato Murangano. I'm a freelance journalist. Tafato Murangano. Okay, my name is Tafato Murangano. Freelance, yeah. So my question, I want to ask, the last time you held another press conference, you had some faces that are missing today. Are they still part of you, or they parted ways with you?
Do you think the name MDC still appeals to the literate? Maybe in light of what you mean, Mr. Mudzuri, still think the name MDC, do you think it still appeals to the literate?
First, you're asking me that are the members present. You can have an excuse. I'm the one delivering the press conference. The rest can be having other commitments. Okay. They've had commitments.
But they're still part of...
We are a committee that works to deliver the change.
Okay.
The change within the change. To make sure that we go back to the original MDCT. So, it's neither here, even if someone will present. It's just that I'm the most senior here. Otherwise, we are a good team. And those who want to come in will come. If you are an old member or you want to be a new member, you can still come and join the team. We are willing to invite all the members of the MDC. Now, he is asking me if the name still appeals. I'm asking you, you are the journalist. It should appeal to people who are organized. How can you appeal when you are not organized? As we organize and become what used to be good to the people, what people saw in MDC, if they see it in us, then they will appeal. You can't follow a disorganized institution. And I'll tell you, we talked about it in our last press conference, that we must preserve institutions. We must preserve this MDC. Why? Because it's the main institution that has stood the ground against ZANU-PF. And it has had reasonable principles. But the leaders that have been coming have chosen to go astray and leave this MDC as it demands us to do. Those constitutions which we are given are meant to be followed. I'll give you an example of Douglas is going to court saying ZANU has not done this. Yes, it is right, it is correct to say they have not followed enough on the delimitation process. But did he follow his own constitution in him becoming a president? People just talk. We want politicians who deliver the political, social, and economic goods. The political good is making sure that you deliver the democracy first in your institution. So if you cannot deliver the democracy in your institution, how do you expect to deliver it in the national institution?
Any more questions, ladies and gentlemen, please?
Elian Tali from 263 Chat. outside the legal route, have you extended an olive branch to Mr. Mudzuri, highlighting the same issues that we are highlighting, and what was his response if so?
You know,
Another question? Please.
Okay, transmitted the clearance. In the past election, MDC was part of an alliance team. What's your position in this upcoming election?
your question was olive branch. You know, the legal route only came after failing to organize. The olive branch was thrown away by Douglas Mudzuri because I never intended to go to court any day until he started trying to fire me. I wanted to be a card-carrying member with the others. He could run his national team. I didn't want to be the national team. I said, you can run your thing, but we will come back to you after consulting people. Then he started firing me. Then I said, you can't fire me because you didn't go through a process. And I had to go to court where our review case will be heard very soon. To say, is he legitimate? If they say he's legitimate, maybe he goes far. But the real olive branch was like, we cannot rep this institution by keeping ourselves in leadership without being chosen from the grassroots. The grassroots will determine the future of the opposition or any other party. If you don't have those people, all these questions won't matter because we'll be alone. And I don't want to be a leader of a non-participating community. And there are no people. You saw it in that other last elections. It was almost zero because in the 2 years after Mr. Mudzuri took over from the TOC, we never did any program, not even one. Not even to consult people to say, what do we do next? So how do you expect to win an election? He just hijacked the institution, but he's not helping the institution. But I'm not saying, I'm not judging him. It is the community that should judge him. I'm only saying, let's do what we used to do. And let's not kill MDC. MDC should never die in our eyes. Those who have seen MDC, they think it's Mudzuri who should run it. No, it should be them, and it should be our members who should be saying, we don't want it to die. I will be out, someone will be in, but it must be an elected person who is elected by the culture of MDC.
Mr. Murizo, can you come back again? See your
I
question?
said in the last election in 2018, the MDC was part of an alliance team with other political parties. What is your position now in this afternoon?
An alliance is best when they are also organized. Who wants an alliance of people who are not organized? I'm just saying, if you are not seen as a potential winner, are you going to get an alliance? You can call it an alliance of a weak alliance, but it's just an alliance. What we need here is a serious dialogue, including journalists, to say, are we really serious? Every politician must be interrogated on being serious about confronting the situation in the country. If you don't have meetings at ward level, you don't have meetings at district, do you expect it to win? It's never one man's band. It's always about people. And how people view you as an organization first, not as an individual. An individual can help an institution to run. I really respect President Tsvangirai after what I've seen since he died. Because sometimes you are not know how he organized all these guys to come together all the time and all those splits. You can see people running for power. I don't need to be in power if people don't see me that way. People must see me that I can bring people together. But when you bring them together, they want to run to think they can do it alone. No one can do it alone. We would love Mudzuri and everyone else to be in MDC. But let's follow the rules.
Right. Our last question. Okay. The last two, please.
So how confident are you in the how confident are you in the paper considering that you're just restructuring when we're a few months away from the election?
Okay, my question would be, Engineer Mudzuri, in 2008, we saw Dr. Zimbabwean splitting the vote. And now that you are re-energizing the structures a few months away from an election, and we are also seeing Mudzuri going around the country. We are also seeing Mudzuri going around the country confirming meetings. Chamisa is also doing the same. Other political parties are also doing the same. Don't you think that you are actually delivering victory to President Mnangagwa on a silver platter, given the division in the opposition circles?
I respect your question. There is no need for division in the opposition circles. But there is division because there is confusion. You don't just follow each other because you want to beat Mnangagwa. I don't just follow a person because I must beat Mnangagwa. I must follow a person because I believe that this person, when we are together, we are going to deliver as I said, the political, social, economic things. I can't follow a person who will represent Gono after all the stealing he was doing. Then I say he's my leader. What am I trying to say? Just because I want to beat Mnangagwa. Mnangagwa is his son, and we are talking of opposition. Opposition must be doing the right things that will make voters appreciate their president. So don't just do an opposition for the sake of opposition. It's useless to be in opposition and get the country and fail to deliver the real goods that people expect. This economy is not easy. It doesn't need fools. It needs people who really think and with proper policies to change the economy. The economy is down. So I really respect your question, but it's up to all the opposition leaders to start talking to each other. When you talk, you must meet in minds. Any one of us can lead, but you must look at the leadership and assess it. You know what we call politics of disgruntlement is not enough. It must be politics of disgruntlement plus proper processes that can ensure delivery of the expectations of the people. You said, how confident are you? You say,
how confident are you in the people, considering your restructuring when you're just a few months away from the elections?
You know, I will ask you, how confident are you that I will ask you maybe when you went to school, how confident were you that you will pass? Because when you are going to school, you work to pass, isn't it? So my confidence is 150% that we will win. As long as we do what people want, we will win their hearts and minds. But the moment we go astray, then we won't win anything. So the confidence I have is even more because I see what is happening in the whole opposition. We are not talking about helping people, we are talking about individuals. When you discuss an individual, you are lost. You must discuss what the group or that individual can do. Leadership needs followership, but followership needs to also check on leadership.